Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne. It's today with a double header. First up, it's Portugal's JMargarido versus YguruguruY from Japan. And in about an hour, it's Joao's compatriot Sportr versus DrCaiHan from China. Both matches on fairly high level, all four are masters. First up, Joao, peak rating 780 something, maybe even 90 something. Overall, usually rated in between 600 and 700. Knows his stuff, fairly good player, lots of experience. More or less the same could be said about his opponent today, YguruguruY. I think he allowed me to call him Guru, but well, I might stick to Y. Almost 7,000 games of experience, also usually in the vicinity of 600 to 700. Many peaks in the master area here. So should be a pretty tight one. Y last year was in good shape, won all their matches in the WTCOC and the Asian Cup as well. I think 9 in total. Not sure about the opponents, but usually WTCOC and Asian Cup, they should be quite strong. Later on, we'll have Sportr and DrCaiHan. Let's quickly switch to their ratings. Also, as I said, both masters this year. Might have been Sportr becoming a master in 2020, else this is surely a peak over 700. I'd say he is not the better of the two Portuguese players playing today. In the Portuguese online championship, I think he lost versus Joao in the semifinals and then was able to secure third place and the Champions League qualification ticket versus Foam, I think. Today, I'd say he should be the underdog versus the good doctor from China. Master since 2021, peak rating slightly below 800, currently in good shape as well. So let's check. Yeah, first game has already started. So let me just switch to my main window here. 5%. Okay, so 5 tiles played or what? Okay, the third one. So here we go. Joao with yellow meeples today started with a straight Y with the usual counter, placing the curve there to restrict the cap, take away this option here, which would surely have happened for yellow if blue hadn't placed the curve there. And to play as efficient as possible, a meeple is always a good idea in this spot as well. Eglovir. Yeah, the only thing missing would be a Portuguese co-host, right? So yellow had to place their extender somewhere. Yeah, I know. Don't worry. Don't worry. There will be a time, and then I'll have a Portuguese co-host again. So yellow with the extender could have gone on the right side as well, but well, giving blue the attacking option and an option to restrict two of their meeples quite obviously wasn't to yellow's liking. They'd rather placed the extender at the bottom. In a case where blue would attack this, at least they'd have to extend yellow's road as well. So both with monasteries up top. Y also took a few quick points here, close the road. Here goes for a nice restriction. Quite likely might double down while also harassing yellow's road. Could do so on the left as well. For now, it looks a tad better for blue, but this could turn pretty quickly if yellow manages to extricate their meeple here, close the city, maybe even drop a farmer. For now, they have to find a good place for the vanilla, and this here is, of course, totally fine and safe as safe can be. Yeah, Y now has a bunch of options. I like these two here. Threatening to restrict the city, restricting the road a bit. And this here has more upside, namely killing these two. But instead, they opt to simply snatch the field while also bringing their monastery meeple closer to getting it back. Yeah, it's definitely okay. Not as aggressive as they could have played this situation. But yeah, an okay move for sure. And it quite works very nicely for them. Snatching this cap, closing this city, adding another city to their field as well, needing only a curve or the other road monastery to get the monk back. So all fine and dandy. Also mitigating this here, hoping of course that blue doesn't get another twin cap. Juan, sorry. I'm still primed to say Joao. So yeah, blue snatches the road, adds even more pressure to yellow's road here. Yellow indirectly protects, and the city there is safe, of course. Sure, blue could equalize this, but this would also build the road here, which yellow might snatch in the end. Yeah, here goes twin caps by blue. And we'll see. Yellow opts to close this one. Sure, why not? Before it gets restricted into needing one of the still 3 daggers. This threat here has to be dealt with by blue rather sooner than later. Yellow doesn't get anything to build up the bigger city. I mean, they could opt for this. But I'd rather pack them on this move here. But we'd see actually. Okay. Yeah, this could work actually. So still 3 daggers left here, even if blue were to place a straight there. And any Dorito on the right side, and you have pretty much secured your city. Sure, blue could attack here and will do so now. They just don't have any other option. can't risk yellow drawing a cap and later a Dorito and then being able to almost tie the game, because blue already built quite a nice lead on the virtual scoreboard. Although a lead hinging on this field here, if yellow manages to tie this one, it would only be a lead of 5 points. Yeah, here comes the farming attack. As expected, both having 2 meeples in hand. Blue a tad more likely to get a meeple back due to just needing a curve. Could even restrict this square before drawing the curve, but this way would be better as there's only one starting tile left. Okay. Well, this here is volatility, and I'm not really sure I like it. There's still a splitter left, which could be used. Try and go for the takeover. Yeah, and now yellow secures now yellow secures the monastery option here, waiting for the curve, which quite likely blue should use now. They don't. They opt to go for this first. Okay. So they intend to play with one meeple for a while, because might use the next curve rather here, or maybe even one spot up top. Nah, with this many straights gone, should be this place. So with 3 daggers still left, this restriction isn't that great. Yellow actually might even go for the self-restriction. In this way, which you'd usually expect, doesn't work in this game, as all 5 road Doritos are gone. Sure, there are still 3 horses left, but doesn't really work out nicely here, having a horse and opening up this city again. Okay, they prioritize the field connection. Yeah, that's okay as well. Likely hoping to draw something, for example, like a dagger, to then have 3 caps to close this, roses and the remaining starting tile. Meanwhile, blue snatches 3 road points, so bringing the monk closer to completion up top with tempo. Yellow going after this square here, quite likely hoping to limit this to the remaining starting tile and therefore a 50-50. And they'd like to keep their meeple advantage, therefore yellow won't place a curve here as long as they don't need more meeples. The problem for them is they are behind by quite a lot by now, so they for sure need to complete this city. Should attack this one up top, as I mentioned. There are still 3 horses there, and taking this one is the most promising way for yellow to get back into this game. Yeah, he goes, and what Gloria mentions is this one, and he is right. This could have been a consideration, the problem being needing straights in two places, or straight-ish pieces in two places. So yellow attacked blue, build a platform to harass the attacking square. Didn't work. Yellow with the first of 3 horses doesn't go for the burrito completion option because there's only one left and a splitter as well. So they just hope to get one of the 2 horses and a fitting cap up top, and it's definitely not unlikely. Blue scores, doesn't overreact, so nothing like this going for the restriction up top or from over here. Quite likely hoping to use a tile that's not as valuable as a city cap to execute a restriction up top. Yeah, so what Gloria is saying, if yellow would have attacked the road and the city, of course, they'd be out of meeples. And in that case, they need a curve over here and over here. So yeah, we'll see. So for now, they get the monks back to their owners. Now yellow has 2 meeples again and might go for this road attack later. Although, of course, at -27, the city here should be enough for them. Yeah, so they'll thwart this attack immediately. Oof. Do I like this farmer? Not so sure about that one. Yeah, in all likelihood, blue would go for city completion and might drop a farmer there. So this here just preempts a move by blue, but this also takes away the road attacking option for yellow. Blue might, but leaving 4 quick points and a cap around when your opponent only has the 1 meeple in hand. Oh, that's rough. Oh, yeah, especially when there is a 4-point road there. That's definitely the better move. Yellow city on the left is still alive. But their problem now is they need caps in 3 places. Will blue use this move? Just to prevent this here from being closed easily, they will, and I think that's exactly the right choice, even though Yellow might now kill their meeple. And they do. But the same will happen to the city now, as we are out of daggers. So even getting the horse won't win yellow the game. But it would mean, depending on shield or not shielded version of the horse, snatching 14 to 15 points. And that's just half of the difference on the virtual scoreboard. So they need the starting tile to close the city and quite likely to attack the field, which currently is in blue's possession. And for now, worth 12 points, could be 15. So yeah, one horse, one starting tile, some way to attack the field, but I think blue will take this option away now, or might just claim the 6-point field. But I think they should know that yellow's only chance to still win this game is the central field. So just adding an insurance farmer should be the move in this case. And if necessary, this could unite to the main field at the cost of 3 points, of course. Instead, they go for the 6-point field. Yeah, and now yellow's farmer hurts because it scores 3 only. And that was the risk of placing it this early. So yellow is at -23. Closing this city here would net them 7 plus 3 for the road, 10. And the field attack would add 12, so 22. Still 1 point short. And blue takes away the best option to attack the field. And yellow just is running out of moves here. So if they want to attack the field, they have to do so now. The problem being, sure, you could use it, the horse in hand like this here, but then you need the starting tile to connect, which you need elsewhere anyway. Yeah, so looks like Y will take this down. Yeah, that's basically a concession here. And even the starting tile goes to blue. Yeah, overall a good game. And the problem with big cities like that usually is if you can't close them, you have invested so many moves that just don't score enough. All these juicy pieces wasted for 1 or 2 points each. But it is what it is. Yellow had a good chance. If it weren't for blue drawing the cow, this could have become a way closer affair than it was in the end by just taking a look at the score. I mean, 20 points is quite a lot. Well, we see Joao definitely has the chops to come back here. So quadruple city discarded. Therefore, Y lost the starting player advantage, for now at least. Okay, yellow doesn't go for self-invasion, but in this case then needs a curve or crossroad, anything basically, to extend the road before blue gets a crossroad to attack. Yeah, here's a crossroad. This works. Will they now place a second road meeple? Yeah, they will, because else you'd risk blue getting a crossroad themselves and snatching a 5-point road from your hands. The problem, this configuration is exactly what happened on the left side. Blue restricting the square to a crossroad, hoping to add a road from the left as well to restrict these roads to a 50-50. So the quadruple crossroad didn't work out as yellow just drew a rose and of course immediately attacked the city on the left, which looks to only grow. Blue also has a pretty vulnerable city on the right side. Can't really do anything about that for now. And yellow has multiple options. I'd say priority should be preventing blue closing their extender city on the right side. It's not really necessary to place this meeple here, because you'd rather go for a kill by pushing a road into this square or having something with the field side from the top. And it looks like that's exactly the right choice, as blue got a starting tile. And now yellow quite likely will just take this one to be sure. No, they don't. Okay. Then they need to brace for impact, but love from the deck for Joao, also for Y, both attacking a bigger city. And now yellow can't even connect with a Dorito. But if they don't, well then a triple city might hurt. So very nice permutation we've hit here. Juicy, juicy swings. Yellow tried to attack from the top, but blue was able to immediately defend there, and not just defend, but threatening to complete this monster. And the problem for yellow is they can't really do a lot about it. They could go for the kill here, because the quadruple city is gone. The problem being, if they try to act from the right side, they'd also endanger their city. So they were waiting on something to add to their city on the left. But now, of course, blue will protect this square, and with 2 cows remaining, no reason to think about this actually. Just snatch the 3 points, have 2 outs to close the city, and be the favorite to win this game as well if you manage to get one of the cows. And it comes immediately. Boy, oh boy, rough for Joao here. So Glovia is talking about this one, which yellow placed over here. And then the vanilla attack he mentioned was this. I think actually the vanilla attack was totally fine because there were still loads of Doritos out there and triple cities. So you could have gone for a double Dorito completion. Could have also gone for Dorito plus splitter. And what this here mostly does is take away the option from yellow for the double attack, which with 2 splitters still in a deck was definitely not unlikely. And with 4 triple city tiles still left, this would have been really problematic for blue. So I think this here actually was the best move in that case, preventing yellow from doing something and giving ourselves at least a good chance to close the city. Okay, so Glovia actually meant the starting tile attack. And then again, I think this was necessary as well, because if you don't, your opponent just threatens to close this one with the next Dorito, and then you need vanilla Dorito splitter something to attack there. So go for this. And in some permutations, at least, you, for example, get a vanilla or the splitter as mentioned before, and yellow would take over the city. So I think it's totally fine, actually. And it's not lost by all means. Yellow just needs something to get this here back. Then that'd be a 9-point field. They'd claim the road. Okay, blue with the first farmer of the game works out fine as well, of course. Blue still has this road in play. And yellow also has this city on the left. A splitter here might do wonders for their score. The problem being, though, they should close this attacking spot here beforehand. And if they do, well, then of course blue will have at least one chance to restrict this square. So no splitter will fit there anymore, or in some cases even attack, going for the 50-50 flip for the last triple city tile. But I think at, what are they, plus 29 right now, I don't see a world where blue would try to take this over with a 50-50. But who knows? We'll see. So Glovia is suggesting yellow shouldn't have played this, but waited. But then I ask you, for what should yellow have waited? I mean, it doesn't get really better. Whichever option you choose to attack this, there'd always be a second way to attack it as well. So I'd rather use the first and hope to get the second as well than being left out completely. Blue prevents the worst from happening, snatching this city part here, and yellow doesn't even have a meeple now to go for this here. Yeah, looks like they could roll the dice. Maybe they should even hope that blue gets a straight or a crossroad. Or this dagger, which they couldn't have used to kill this square as well. But yellow just gets a meeple back, and I'm sorry to say this, but I think that's a mistake at this point in this game. I mean, you are down by almost 30 points. There is no huge feature you could just take over with 2 meeples to score these 30 points. Then why not roll the dice on this city? Sure, it's quite unlikely to complete this because there is only one rotary to left. But if you don't go for this, how else do you intend to still win this one? Just wait for the Dorito and then go for a bigger city? It's, I think, even more unlikely. I mean, in theory, they could still, well, until blues move here, go for this. And now they use the splitter there. But might have even been, it might even have better chances than before due to the makeup of the remaining tiles. But it doesn't matter. Blue just kills it immediately. Just before yellow was able to get their 50-50 shot. And now they're at minus 30. Also meeple advantage for blue, at least for now. Even this nice monastery square doesn't really help yellow. Yeah, yellow creates aforementioned 9-point field here. No one can take this, but blue takes one on the right side. And basically, yellow needs monasteries, cap, field attack, another monastery, and more meeples than they have to snatch this field as well. And even that might not be enough at minus 35. Blue will restrict on the right side. They just figure out which option is best. And in this case, looks to me like simply taking the 2 points, giving yellow just one out due to the dagger asymmetry here might be the best option. Yeah, now yellow's big problem is only having one meeple, so they take this 9-point field, create an evil hamster, get the monastery, but don't have the meeple in hand. Pretty annoying stuff here for yellow. And quite likely all Portuguese fans as well. Okay, both thinking about their last moves, but again, this is a situation that's just not salvageable for yellow. They are too far behind. Again, if there were a 15-point field or something, but there isn't, so there's actually no use in trying to find anything, which is sad, but it sometimes just happens, and this city here in the middle was the biggest reason for this outcome. So if any of you is interested in a quick analysis, because the next match starts in 20 minutes, just let me know in the chat, else I'll take a break and save a bit of my voice for later. Okay, 24 points in the end, more or less the same spread we witnessed in the first game as well. Why underlining their aspirations here? Surely one of the favorites to reach a playoff spot in this league. And same could have been said for Joao as well, and they might still be, but definitely trickier for Joao now that he lost the first game, and especially with a clean sweep, as the league situation quite likely will see a lot of folks with 3-2 wins, match wins in the end, and then the game diff would matter. So if you lose, it's definitely advised to do so in a decider to at least not lose out on the tiebreaker as well. So let's see if there's any post-mortem happening here. Not sure if he really gambled, but I think maybe he's talking about this Dorito. And if so, he's right. I mean, my first impulse was blaming the right side here just to be safe. Well, safe is actually the wrong word, because in a case like this here, the splitter for any of them could have turned the game on its head. Hey, Joao. You should have meepled this one here with the Dorito, or which situation are you talking about? Yeah, it was the Dorito. This situation here. So this one, and as I said just a few seconds ago, this of course comes with the risk of the splitters still being out there, but at least you'd have an almost 50-50 chance to execute this attack yourself. And in some cases, Blue would just not go for this and just add any Dorito there, not give you the 50-50 for the win, but I don't know actually. Depends a lot on the score then. So at -10, for example, in Blue's case, with a meeple disadvantage, I might even let this like it is and hope to draw the splitter myself or something to attack from the left. Yeah. And on the other hand, you'd have the option, of course, anytime to kill this if you draw a fitting piece here and then build up the larger ruin side. So yeah, this here would have kept volatility rather low, not going there. I mean, I get the connection on the left side, because if you don't do anything there, this could have been killed and then Blue runs away with a large mini battle win and the ruin there. But yeah, at least I have to concur this here, as I've said already, was my first impulse. Yep. Well, should have, could have, would have. It is what it is. You still have 4 matches to play, right? And if you win all 4, you definitely have a playoff spot secured. And with 3-2, there's still a chance. So let's take a look. Oh, new view. I like it. Thanks, Sergey. So quick overview of both leagues. Just need to zoom in a bit to feature all 30 players. So where the hell is Joao? Earth League, Space League? Don't see him. Boy. Okay, Y is there. Yeah, I should have looked. Of course. The result is already taken into consideration. So then let's take a full view and let's take a look. Joao still has to play versus, Adria and Crocodile Fundy, Kroikle, and Teshe. Yeah, I'd say You win versus Adria, you should have a pretty good chance to still make the playoffs. If you lose, then it'll be coming down to tiebreakers, and you need rather convincingly versus the other three. And Crocodile Fundy would then be the most interesting of these three matches. I think Joao should be a favorite versus Kreukle and Tesche. And well, if you're here, let's take a look. Y still has to play versus Complex V and H. We'll play Krishna tonight. I'll cover this one at 18 UTC. Phosphate, Stefanakis, and Tompa. Okay, Tompa should be not the favorite against Y after yesterday's match. I think not convincing, but still has a chance. Y Complex, close one. Phosphate, Phosphate is in pretty good shape. Might consider them the favorite versus Stefanakis. Y should be the favorite, at least in my book. Yeah, but overall, this is the Champions League. So anyone on this page should be able to win against one of the others. It's just a question of likelihoods. Yeah, last share 29th actually. Although I don't know if the player coefficient is taken into account. I think I haven't found details for this one. Okay, anything of these two games anyone would still like to check again, then let me know, else I'll take a quick break until the next one starts. Okay, doesn't look like it. So then I'll see you folks in around 5 minutes. Take care. Okay, folks, I'm back. So after witnessing one Portuguese player being beaten by an Asian fellow, YguruguruY from Japan, and now it's the second chance for Portugal today, and this time versus DrCaiHan from China, and it's Sportr. As I've mentioned earlier, my favorite in this game would be the doctor from China, but as you should be able to grasp from this rating evolution here in the background, Sportr is definitely no slouch. Also a master, even though only barely, but achieving the 700 ELO rating definitely is a feat. And then maintaining something between 600 and 700 usually should be the goal if you can't maintain a rating of 700 plus. These dips here below to 500, even 400s. Let me question whether they will have what it needs to beat a doctor in its best shape, but we'll see about that. So the doctor's top rating achieved somewhere 4.5 years ago, back in 2021, 780 something, usually rated over 600, but has also seen a long time with a rating sub 600 here. Currently, though, in the master level, it's only a question whether they'd be able to bring their A game or not today. And if they do, well, then Sportr needs to hit a good permutation today. Let's see if they are going for a tournament format or if it's just a regular game, and it looks like a regular game with a slow speed. So this could take a bit longer than the previous match you might have witnessed. And if not, well, I'm sorry, I've spoiled you. Interesting watch nonetheless. So Sportr with the yellow meeples takes, of course, the cap. The doctor will place a city of his own. Yeah, Road Monastery is a road monastery. It's annoying to leave this year in the open, but you'd rather place the meeple on a monastery because it's quite likely to score 9 points once all is said and done. Yeah, that's a nice approach, creating an option to harass blue city, possibly being able to take this road, also indirectly protecting the city up top. And all things considered, this here looks like the best approach. Blue immediately plays against the city with the cow, prevents an easy double Dorito completion there, and it gives themselves at least one chance to attack or restrict the city later on. Once yellow places anything here, it would be attack or restriction on the left side and vice versa. Yellow doesn't want to threaten their monastery, city, and road square, and therefore they just add this horse up top, knowing full well that if they don't, well, later on blue would be able to attack the city. So they might not even mind giving this spot here, because any Dorito, or yeah, basically only Doritos, and they protect the city again, but quite likely they wouldn't use a road Dorito there. They need this to close the road. Alternative option for yellow would have been to restrict blue city on the right side. But actually, I don't really mind this one. Yeah, tricky decision with this starting tile now. If it weren't so cumbersome, they could even consider a self-invasion, but that will likely result in at least 2 lost meeples. Yeah, this one I don't like, because sure, you bring this closer to completion, but wouldn't you rather start a new city elsewhere to have multiple options, and especially a good way to employ extenders or twin caps like blue just did? Now I'm sure we'll see this restriction, which also would create this vulnerable square, and quite likely delay, or possibly could delay, blue's right city. Yeah, this indirect approach is not to my taste. There are still splitters there. And in some cases, you might just lose a bigger city. But at least it delays completion of this one. Yeah, now what'll yellow do? Still go for the completion. Go over here. Self-invade. Giving away a restriction option on their monastery, but 2 daggers still left. Okay, they go for the immediate approach here, hoping to draw a cap, and quite likely hoping for blue not to get any curvy or crossroad, but they do. And now these 2 meeple here are stuck until yellow gets a dagger or this here gets killed. Meanwhile, blue doesn't go for a bigger city, which is totally fine. They still have 2 splitters to extricate this one. And they threaten to kill yellow city. And what's the best approach for yellow? This one or this one? Might just be this here, even if you'd risk more dead meeples. But there actually aren't that many pieces to kill this with this configuration, whereas this would allow quite a lot more tiles to use for the kill. So looks like this here is necessary. And then you'd at least have the one remaining horse to protect your city. You'd have the 2 Doritos. And you could try to restrict this square from the left side so that extenders and twin caps don't fit anymore. So basically, yellow's best shot would be, as weird as this may look like, to add something some city part on the left side. Then only, well, okay, only a triple city or the quadruple city would still fit there, but this point is moot. Yellow city is dead. Blue was able to close theirs on the right side, but yellow, with fortunate draws, closed another city on the left and now has a 15-point lead with a juicy and easy to complete monastery in the middle. Still 4 pieces left to go here. Ideally, of course, they'd like to get the remaining road monastery. And this one here, well, it's waiting for at least one companion. So far, so good. Okay, Sportr doesn't play over here, doesn't want to create any big feature. Even this one just immediately goes after this city, which is a good option actually, because there was only one starting tile left. So any Dorito here would have restricted the city to a 50-50. But this connection I don't like at all. Sure, if blue attacks this immediately with all starting tiles gone, you could kill this square quite easily. But why even risk this if you have control of this game? Why not do something else? I mean, sure, the splitter would be annoying, but I don't like this. Yeah, so what Joao is saying, if I understand him correctly, is using the quad city here, exactly preventing the splitter, and then doing something else with this Dorito. Anyway, he's still up 15 points. It's still looking good, even though the monastery was killed in the meantime, which I actually don't like at all. If you're down, wouldn't you rather use this in a more aggressive option? So why not extend your city here and go after this kill later? This here is just begging for yellow to get a Dorito and force your city into this abyss. or the other one for that matter. Yeah, don't like the extender there. Yep, Joao is basically saying the same. Yeah, protection of the road by blue indirectly, but yellow immediately gets one of the few killing tiles, because all 4 regular crossroads are already gone. So now both with dead meeples, 2 these 6. Something's wrong here. Sorry. Let me check this. Okay. Looks like my counters don't work as they should. Doesn't matter. 2 dead yellow meeples, 2 dead blue meeples. Nice monastery build up on the right side for yellow. 21-point lead on the virtual scoreboard. The only problem for yellow could be not getting these meeples back, because then they'd have a meeple minority in the long run, and there are still a bunch of city caps in the deck which blue could use to create a big field, and they'd be more likely to farm this field as well, which would be one way to reduce the deficit. But if yellow manages to draw the quick point tiles while also adding points to their monasteries, they should be able to reach smoother waters here rather soonish. So yeah, blue takes the field now, sets also this monastery spot here up, hoping of course to draw the remaining road monastery themselves. Problem being they need something to place on the left side as well, and yeah, I think yellow should just kill this spot here now. Sure, they could play more aggressively, meepling the monastery here with their last one, but there's no need to. I mean, just taking the 2 points, killing this, not giving blue another meeple back, giving blue only 1 chance to get one back, actually, at plus almost 20 could, maybe should be enough. This here, of course, would be more aggressive. And with still 2 crossroads and also multiple curves or curvies out there, this might be totally fine. They choose this. I mean, I get it. Yeah, and actually it is fine, because if blue gets all the crossroads and curves which yellow could employ here and up top, then blue just won't score enough anyway. So yeah, it's okay. Blue sets up quick point options for them, 1 hits, but yellow just gained the precious meeple, and at plus 24, even scoring all these cities might just not be enough for blue, because yellow would score something else as well. But of course, closing 3 cities on blue's field would score 21 points, and then they'd almost be there. So it's not game over yet, especially not if blue draws all the caps. And yeah, I wouldn't even mind this here, because there are still 2 Doritos. Could even create a bigger city there to efficiently use these Doritos. I mean, they still have this hole here waiting for the road Dorito. And of course, there's this city to consider. But in this case, focusing on the field, scoring the immediate points is definitely the better option. Okay, they go for this move. Do I like this or not? Well, the problem with twin caps over here would have been a possible secondary field on the right side. But maybe that's not even a problem. Maybe this would have been to blue's advantage even. But it looks like they didn't want to go for this. And then this here was the risk of it all. Yellow closing a city which isn't on blue's field. So minus 16, only 2 moves left. And yellow will win this one no matter what. So first win, well, in a few seconds, for a Portuguese player today. Is an upset? Nah, only slightly. Even if the Doctor was and still is my favorite to win this match. It was well played by Sportr here. Quite unfortunate, of course, to draw what he needed to snatch the city on the left. But with misplays like this extender here, blue didn't make their life easier. So this would be one to check back on the replay. 3-minute rest. Oh man. Well then, let's take a quick look at the replay. I think it was later. Okay. Yeah, so here we go. Blue just created the option to kill yellow's monastery. Yellow I think, harassed blue city. Yeah, I think I didn't even mention this move. Totally fine. Great move, actually. Drawing blue into the problematic area there. So even if blue would successfully kill the monastery, they might also endanger their city at the same time. And yeah, blue is at -13. Sure, for now they'd have a meeple majority, but they went for this move to kill the monastery. But is it really worth it? I mean, sure, if yellow closes this, they'd quite likely would drop farmer. Field is at 2 cities, maybe a third one would be incoming later. Yeah, definitely. But if you're down, wouldn't you rather try to close this one? Sure, it also gives an option to restrict the other city, but that option was already there. You only made things worse. But at some point, you have to go for some features to score points here, and your cities seem to be the way to go. So yeah, definitely I don't like blue's move. Was it not? Yeah, sure, it kills, but it also endangers their other city. So just consider a triple city now, and then you'd need a dagger here to at least get one meeple back. Not a dagger, a splitter, sorry. So yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I get the impetus to kill the monastery immediately, but it's just not worth that much to do this compared to building up your own feature here with still options to kill this one and still options to close this city as well. And quite, yeah, okay. Let's check, have they started? And they have, so then let's go to the second game. Doctor starting this one with a road monastery, court with a meeple. Something is wrong here because Sportr completed a road, but we didn't see this tile. So now it's there. Looks like PGA's spectator bug still isn't fixed. So if you haven't, please thumb up this bug here. Let me find the chat window. So both going for cities, sure, you'd always take the 4 points here if you can, especially next to your monastery. No wonder. And yellow, of course, took this one, and blue immediately attacked just to give them the best chance not to let yellow run away with this here. But yellow doesn't give up on this city. Of course not. Why would they? They still have multiple approaches available to them. One would be to create a large city, a huge city even. Maybe a ruin, but if you're able to win ruin for 15, 16, 20 something points, that's totally fine, because in most cases it's an investment of one meeple more than your opponent has, and one meeple effectively scoring 20 points is definitely a good investment. And the other option, of course, would be to get a splitter to close a 14-point city up top and fight for the other one. Yellow takes this road for 4 - 1 points. Didn't want to go for the monastery themselves. Yeah, creates this splitter-sized hole, but the first one goes to blue. Blue's monastery with an iffy square, 2 starting tiles gone. Yellow really can't do a lot about this. They could restrict this slightly, possibly later on try to restrict this to the non-existent road monastery, while also harassing the city up top. They prefer to go for the loop road. See, and blue, with still a lot of Doritos out there, might secure this one. Might even add a road meeple there, and upon completion could then snatch the field. But they take the simpler approach, just extending the city, indirectly protecting their monastery, because they at least took away the best possible restriction options from yellow's arsenal, which would have been the starting tiles. So now first monastery for yellow in a perfect place there, waiting for other monasteries to stack them next to it. And blue with the one and only option to attack the city by yellow. They don't go for it. Just create a city of their own while also restricting yellows. Likely hoping to restrict the monastery as well. So they might wait for a city plus road piece. Yeah, both with road construction projects up top. Not sure if blue really is thinking about closing the road there, because the road end here would be available to them, and the 3 immediate points, while also securing the monastery situation, seem to be way more lucrative. And in the end, they opt to go for this exact one here. I mean, you have to score points, and when there is this threat here looming, it's definitely a good idea to score as many points as you can while you have a lot of meeples in hand. This situation quite likely will change once these two will get more monasteries with prime monastery squares available to both of them. Okay. Yellow forcing blue city into the mini battle versus the monastery. It works for now, but it also devalues yellow's monastery stacking options. Any road from the right side, of course, would kill all these features then. Yeah, another road end for blue, and this time they take it. They opt for the field while also keeping the cap on said field. Yeah, should work out for them. So basically they have an open cap up top to employ extenders, maybe even some Doritos, and city plus road pieces, and they have this cap if they had hit a vanilla, or quite likely the twin caps as well, just to pad this field even more. Yeah, and yellow doesn't even go for this here, knowing full well that any triple city here would be devastating. And now they threaten to close this if they just hit the remaining splitter. Okay, extender. Blue is at +10, so going over here to kill the square, or, well, why kill it if you could use it to take away this option, or to connect, might be an overreaction if you have an open city up top. And that's why they chose to go for the city, because even closing this one here wouldn't be that devastating. It's at 7 points now, so if closed 16, that's a +9 point swing in yellow's favor. But then blue would be able, in most cases, to snatch the field on the right side immediately afterwards, if they wouldn't like yellow to take this, if they just had enough meeples in hand. This I don't get at all. Yeah, sure, it's a city by our opponent, and if closed, it would be worth 6 points and creating a 6-point field, which they could take. So it might be a 10-point move for them, but there aren't that many caps to close this one, while you have an open city up top, and it's more likely for your opponent to draw a triple city to harass yours and delay this by quite a lot, in some cases even be successful with this, attacking it, maybe taking it over, maybe killing it. So I don't see the need to go for this, especially not with this penultimate dagger of this variety. rather use this elsewhere and then try to restrict this one to the same dagger and a 50-50. Yeah, so if this here turns south for blue, I'll definitely point to this move. And it was their last meeple even, right? No, this one was the last. Okay, yeah. I think this was an unnecessary risk for blue. I mean, just play it simple. Just close this one up top, take the points, have 3 meeples in hand. You have the monastery set up, you have the field. If needed, you could take this field. But it works out for blue. They get their meeple back. But now it's of course yellow with more meeples in hand and likely hoping to improve the situation of this field and then take it. It's a bit out there, but they could even consider this one. On the other hand, this is still alive, so attack like this, hoping to draw the vanilla and 2 Doritos, but that's too much to hope for. So they okay. Nah, I don't like this. I don't like this. So if blue now closes the monastery, they just leave a farmer there and take the better field, and yellow then has to add multiple pieces to connect the fields. Sure, would create a bigger one, which might be useful to have something to fight for, but if your opponent already has a 9-point field that would grow to 15 with 2 pieces, it's not that great. This here works better. There are still 2 Doritos left, and yellow would love to get their hands on one. Take this monk home. So if you go for it, well, attack the city at the same time. Else you just supply more points to blue's city/ruin. So 1 cap on blue's field is taken care of by this one. Blue with the penultimate crossroad, going for the kill here. And now, what about this one? Leaving only 1 piece to close the monastery. I mean, blue is at plus 18, so wouldn't be that big of a problem to defer other options. Yeah, they set up this here for Doritos, field Doritos to use. Yellow harasses the city even more. Blue could still go for the city completion, hoping to draw 2 out of 3 Doritos. Instead, they go for immediate points and a ruin. And then yellow gets the perfect tile here, closes the road, gets to attack blue's field, and this I didn't even see nor mention. The dagger here would have prevented this scenario, of course. So what is the score? 25 plus for blue. Yellow connecting here would be 12 points. Yellow taking over the field would be 24. And then we'd be down to both having 1 meeple in hand. Oh, no, yellow connecting over here wouldn't be 12, but 17 points. They'd score 4 road points and the one for the monastery as well. And we'll do so now. So yeah, not blocking over here seems to be one of the reasons yellow still has a chance in this game, which blue could have prevented quite easily. Okay, there's still a starting tile out there. But do you really want to attack over here? Leaving this for anyone to take if you don't need to take over the field to win this game, because this 12-point difference here could be equalized by having more meeples. If you get the dagger or starting tile to score 7 points at the bottom, there are no avenues to attack this one, as there are no big city tiles or Doritos out there. Yeah, so maybe yellow should just go here and play for the field. So this here to at least force blue to decide whether to close the city or kill this one could have been a consideration. Blue deliberating whether to score the 4 points or drop their insurance farmer there. And they go for the 4 points. Oh, yellow at minus 13. Doesn't go for immediate 7. Hopes to still connect, and that's a 50-50 shot. Now that blue just got one of the 2 remaining curves. It works for yellow. Hanging on by a thread here. So they'll connect. They connect here. Okay. They don't take the road. There are still straights out there, and there are so many straights that I don't really see the reason to not do it immediately, because if your opponent takes the road, you would be down by 7 points again. Boy, really close. 2 caps out there. Blue might need to take this just to prevent yellow from scoring 7 points. But there's another cap that yellow could use to do the same. This, though, would create an option for the doctor to attack the field again. And oh, he doesn't have a meeple in hand, right? Okay, then it's no problem at all. Gets the meeple back, but Sportr gets the remaining cap to close the city and win the game. Pretty close affair here. So +3 for Portugal, for Sportr in the end. Definitely congratulations. Eked out this one here, and quite frankly, both of them could have won this. This one here in blue's hands a tad earlier to close the city to get the meeple back would have been enough. So definitely an endgame worth checking out again. Doesn't look like these two will be doing any sort of analysis, so then let's check back. Yeah, right, draw. Although I haven't seen the match taking place in between, of course, which was covered by Alexi, and please don't spoil, because I'd rather like to check this out after this one here. So let's take a look at the end game here. So yeah, looks like this was indeed the best decision for yellow. I mean, they could have gone for the city. So this one problem, of course, being that blue could have killed this with a lot of pieces, because they only need city parts here or there. So basically, these 4 here would have worked to kill it immediately. And the other would have restricted this quite severely to a 50-50. So yeah, not taking the city was the right choice. And if you don't, well, going for the field was too early, especially. You can't leave an 8-point city behind. I mean, not when your opponent has a 45% chance of snatching these 8 points immediately, even though the city would end up on your field quite likely. So it looks like this was the better approach, creating more options for you to score big here. Also totally fine by blue to take the quick points. They are still 2 moves away from liberating the monk. And there are still more cities they could take care with the right tiles in hand. Yeah, and the one thing I not sure about was this one. So yellow opted for the field attack, the unblockable field attack, because there are still 2 curves left to connect in the middle. And the good news about this one here is you don't create the option for an immediate re-attack, which would be the case if you'd use it over here. So yeah, well, I mean, yellow is down 13 points. Scoring 7 would definitely be nice, but the doctor is the starting player, so you only have 3 moves left. And there are no big features here to use your meeples, really. Therefore, going for the chance to snatch one of the 2 remaining curves, which is this point in time roughly 65% maybe. Yeah, why not? Why not? It's definitely the higher scoring feature, and you've just added another cap there, so you might even improve the field. Also, setting up a 5-point road is definitely a good choice as well. So yeah, looks like yellow took the best approach in this situation. Yeah, +10. So if blue would lose this one here, which now that they have 1 curve in hand is only a 50-50. So blue's chance is improving here. Yeah, I totally get adding this one next to your monastery. You'd hope to claim this and get a meeple back. Why not? Scoring 4 points in the end with 1 move could just be good enough. Yeah, yellow of course connects. Then again, the question is, why not take this one? And to me, it looks like they didn't, because they know full well that blue would rather take this road and get the meeple back, even so that scores 1 point less, but would give blue the chance to snatch this road later. Yeah, but would they? Yeah, quite likely. At +2 versus 2 meeples, they need to score as efficiently as possible, and therefore scoring 4, hoping to score 5 on their last turn might be what they needed to go for. Yeah. Not sure which one was better, actually. So after this, blue has 2 moves left. I mean, basically, they need to close the city and in the end get a road piece, right? To claim the 5-point road. There's no way to still attack any field without a meeple in hand now. Yeah. They just need one of the 2 remaining caps on their next move, and chances were pretty good, actually. But yellow just drew better in the end. Okay, then. Chat is silent, therefore I'll close up shop for now. I see you at 18 UTC for the next high-level match between Krishna from Latvia and Complex V&H from Mexico. See you then. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.